Southern California, thanks for watching us. The Tea Party and extremism, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. 2 weeks ago, I said this.
Some of these Tea Party people are nuts. They are. They're crazy. I mean, we spent Jesse Waters down there, and he puts the number at about 10% that are just loons out of their minds. Every group has that.
And that's true. No matter what group you're talking about, you're going to find loons. Enter the New York Times, which is finally taking the Tea Party seriously. In a front-page article today, the paper put forth that Tea Party people are primarily extremists. They lump in the John Birch Society, the Patriot Movement, Friends for Liberty, and other groups that are on the fringe. The Times also attempts to link Fox News to Tea Party extremists. Talking Points predicted this would happen, that a movement with the potential power of the Tea Party would be attacked by the left-wing media. At first, the Times ignored the Tea Party. Now it's trying to diminish the brand. But the Tea Party people themselves should be careful. Most Americans are not ideologues. They are just folks who want a fair system and a noble country. Every time a Tea Party person threatens to overthrow the government or other nonsense, the brand gets hammered. That being said, the Tea Party movement is at a disadvantage. There's no central authority. Every Tea Party group is different. There's no party platform other than disenchantment with big government. With that kind of structure, you can expect chaos and some extremism, which the liberal media will use to attack the Tea Party in general. Talking Points has always admired sincere Americans who get involved in trying to improve their country. And that is what most Tea Party people do. They're regular folks who are fed up. Look at it this way. There's no question America is heading towards bankruptcy. We owe $13 trillion. We can never pay the money back. Also, there's no question the federal government allowed millions of illegal immigrants to come to the USA. For decades, the feds didn't even try to stop it. Also, the Obama administration wants to change the economy with strict federal regulations and guidelines. That's what health care is all about, and that's what cap and trade is all about. So many Americans simply oppose those things. And you're not an extremist if you do so. You're a concerned citizen. But if you threaten violence, if you traffic in racism, if you call the president a communist, those are extremist positions. In the end, the Tea Party will rise and fall on well-thought-out policy and being able to persuade their fellow citizens they have solutions to complicated problems. The left-wing media is gunning for the Tea Party. It'll be fascinating to see how the conflict turns out. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us from Little Rock, Fox News analyst Sarah Palin, who's doing a Republican fundraiser in August. Stuff that had been up there, and they brought in all the malicious stuff, Weaver and such that had been up there. Look, there's no doubt that the New York Times wants to brand the Tea Party as a bunch of extremist loons. There's no doubt they want to do that. But there is danger, do you agree with me, that there is danger if some Tea Party people play into that? If they do say, we're getting our guns and we're going to overthrow, and Obama's this and Obama's that, and he isn't born here. I mean, there was a birther thing going on at the convention. You don't believe in the birther thing, do you,
No, in those wild conspiracy theories about our own government, I think shouldn't have a part of the dialogue, of the debate. What the debate needs to be about is the good ideas, the foundational principles that built this country into the most prosperous and healthiest and most voluntarily generous nation on earth. Safest place, too. We need to get back to those principles.
I'm unclear. Do you think that the birther people should have a place at the Tea Party table? Do you think that they should have a place there?
There is always going to be an element of those who want to be a part of a movement, who have their own ideas of where the country should go or what's going on.
Then what do you do with those people? Do you accept them and embrace them?
You don't take away their First Amendment rights, and we say you cannot speak about those things or ask those questions that you want answers to. That's part of democracy at work.
But do you see the danger that if that becomes the headline, then the mainstream American who isn't really following it that closely says,
I see the danger of more of the same of the mainstream media wanting to paint Tea Partiers as radical, wacko, conspiracy theorists. And if we allow that to happen, then no, this grassroots movement of the people wanting their voice to be heard, because there is such a disconnect between what's going on in Washington and the people that Washington is supposed to be serving.
How does the Tea Party then expand its power base with no leadership, no central authority, so that you could have in one state a great Tea Party, a bunch of people who are, just concerned about their country, sincere, clear-thinking individuals. But then you could have another group up in the mountains with bazookas, you know, saying, hey, we're not going to obey the laws, we're not going to pay taxes, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. Because if there isn't any central theme, if there isn't any authority that says you can go up to this line but you can't go over it,
there doesn't have to be.
I don't know if you can.
There doesn't have to be an authority. That's the point of this. This isn't a well-oiled machine. Heaven forbid it become like a Republican or a Democrat political machine. This is a movement, so there doesn't have to be someone or some group of people with titles.
But how does it then get beyond just a curiosity? Look. The Tea Party people, and I know this from me doing speeches, and you do speeches around the country, you're doing one in Arkansas. The Tea Party people really want change. That's what unifies them all, the loons and the good people. They really want the government to change. But you're never going to get that unless you get political clout and power, unless you drive the other people out.
I beg to differ.